Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you guys for tuning in. Please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. So in today's video, we'll be talking about reasons why some Africans might travel abroad and never come back home. So when they get to these countries, there's this notion, there's this mentality that some Africans back home think when you travel abroad, you start harvesting money, you start making a lot of money, and they'll start putting so much pressure on you. Someone will arrive Europe and seek asylum. Now the families will not even understand the situation. They'll start pressurizing this person, start asking for money, start telling him or her problems. I'm facing this type of challenges. This one is calling, that one is calling. This type of things might make someone to feel so angry, so depressed, especially if the person has not started making money. He might take the decision to disconnect himself because he wants to stay away from all the pressure he's getting. So if somebody travels abroad, you who are in Africa, they should give him some time, they should give him some space. Some people take up to 3 years to stand on their feet. Some people travel abroad and they don't have where to stay. They become so frustrated. Some people even live under the bridge. Some people start living in camps. Life is so tough abroad. It doesn't mean that when you once travel abroad, due to what people see on social media, they think it's all juicy abroad. So too much pressure that family members give to their relatives abroad, it makes them to isolate themselves from the family members. So please don't give your people too much pressure when they travel abroad. You must endure, you must work extremely hard before you start making the money. Another reason why some people might travel abroad and never come back home is when he or she has not met her expectation of traveling abroad. Some people have the notion that when they travel abroad, they are going to make money, send back home, build houses, buy plots, do this and do that. So when the person goes abroad and start facing those challenges, the person might disconnect himself from the family. The person might not like to come back home, even if the person is communicating with the family members. Life abroad is very hard, especially in Europe if you don't have the documents. Some people take up to 10 years for them to have their residency in Europe, in European countries. It is not easy. Some people even seek asylum, they get rejected, but they don't want to go back home because they want to achieve it. They don't want to go and face shame. People will talk about them, people will drag them, people will humiliate them, people will mock them. So they'll prefer to stay back, start hiding, start doing odd jobs just to help themselves. Some people, all what they work is the money they pay for their house rent and their feeding. They don't have enough to send back home. So when the family back home is pressurizing them, they might not feel like coming back home because they might come to face so much humiliation. Another reason that some Africans don't want to come back home is because of too much jealousy amongst the families and friends back home. Some people travel abroad, they stay for years, and when they come back home, they get poisoned either by a family member or by the friend because the family member is jealous. They don't want you to continue living abroad out of jealousy. They might harm you. I'm not denying this. There are a lot of cases we've heard, people traveling back to Africa, to their villages, to go and see their families, and they end up not being able to go back abroad. Sometimes they get poisoned, sometimes they get manipulated spiritually, they get into accident and all sorts of terrible things. So that's one of the reasons why some people might not want to come back home to Africa. Another reason why some Africans might not like to travel back home is because of the standard of living. Everyone can afford certain things abroad, but in Africa, it's only the rich that can afford some certain things. There are privileges that Africans enjoy abroad that they might not be opportune to enjoy those opportunities in their home countries. For example, like going to the mall, going to the park, going to the supermarkets. Everyone abroad can go to those places, but in most of the African countries, it's only the rich that can afford certain things. The healthcare system in most of the abroad countries is so much better than that of African countries. So if you are an average African who don't have much, you cannot afford a very good healthcare for yourself and for your family. But in abroad, you can afford that. So this is one of the reasons why some Africans who travel abroad are not thinking of coming back home. So recently in 2022, every African country is facing high cost of living. high cost of living, and the government is not helping matters. They are not reducing the tax. Everything is getting so expensive. The standard of living is low while the cost of living is so high. So this is making a lot of people who travel abroad not to think of coming back home. Even though the cost of living is high in the abroad countries, the standard of living too is high. So these go hand in hand. If the cost of living in African countries is very high and the standard of living is low, some people or most Africans might like to leave the continent, travel abroad, stay there and never come back. So guys, this is it for this video. If you find it interesting, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up, leave your opinion in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.